You have to start with quantity instead of quality. There's a great book that I read a long time ago called Originals by Adam Grant, and he spoke about this, the sheer volume that very successful people tend to put out. And we only catch glimpses of a fraction of the work that was even published. Um, so they were looking right like at Da Vinci, Beethoven, all these great, you know, artists, entrepreneurs, etc. Just how much work did they one put into the world that they deemed was worthy to put into the world, and then from that the amount that we actually remember, the amount that people can look back and say, oh yeah, I know specifically that's that, right? Like even just I think a great example of this is someone like Drake, for example. Drake has put out so many bodies of work, and how many songs do people, and there's a lot of hits, right? Drake has a lot of hits, but compared to the volume of work that he also put out, a lot of quality hits. And how many songs didn't make the cut? How many songs did not make the cut? How many do people actually genuinely remember? People probably remember maybe like roughly, let's just say 10 songs. You can name 10, 15, maybe the average like good fan 20 songs, whatever, I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out there. But I'm saying in terms of volume, right? You look at all the songs just to get those 10, 15, 25, top 5 or whatever. How many songs on each album? How many songs that didn't make the album? How many songs that could have maybe made the album into the before they make the cut to maybe make the album that didn't make the cut. So you have to start with volume. You got to look at just putting numbers up, and that's how you diminish into the quality. When I was in art school, they used to have us do exercises of just variations on variations, continual ideation process, continual, going through sometimes hundreds of variations just to see variations, not even specifically to have an outcome, but just to see where the mind can go when it stretches and it takes you to that 100th variation, right? Because the first 10 variations, you're consciously like, okay, what if I do it like this? What if I do it like this? 30th variation, like, I'm kind of running ideas of like, I'm running out of ideas of how consciously I could create a variation. Then, after 50 variations, you're just throwing stuff together, and this is where it becomes an unconscious creation act. And now you're just putting out things, and that's where the true ingenuity comes from. That's where the true originality comes from. You're not consciously making that. You're flowing into it, and that only comes through intense volume. And that goes through everything, at least creative practice as well. But even anything physically, whether you're training or something like that, you have to know, in order to get to quality, you have to go through quantity first. The guy who can master one rep, right, has done 1,000 reps beforehand before he can master that one rep. Kobe, when he would put up all those shots, right, he would talk about doing thousands of shots in practice. So volume is how you get to that quality. So it's always, for me, in my interpretation, is quantity over quality.